I went to the parking garage, but I couldn't remember where I had parked my car. My head throbbed like it would split open, and every step I took made my stomach twist. The garage was huge and completely empty, even though it should have been full. I called out to anyone who might help, but no one answered. I felt small and invisible, like the walls were swallowing me. I tried to remember how I got there, but everything felt foggy. Even the time on my phone didn't make sense. It was stuck at 5:30. I started walking through the gray concrete corridors, hoping to find someone who could guide me. The mall ahead looked normal at first, but as I entered, I realized something was wrong. Shoppers walked past me without noticing I was there. Their faces were blank, and they moved in slow, robotic patterns. The escalators stopped while I climbed them, and the lights flickered above me, casting long, strange shadows that moved on their own. I felt fear curling in my chest. Then I saw him, a young man sitting on a bench. His eyes were kind, but there was something strange about him. His name was Thomas, and he said he wanted to help me. I wasn't sure if I could trust him, but I had no choice. As we moved through the mall together, the strange feeling grew stronger. All the clocks and watches said 5:30. Time wasn't moving. The air felt heavy, and distant sounds echoed strangely. Shadows in the corners shifted, becoming shapes that almost looked like people, but twisted, like monsters. A janitor appeared, but his eyes were completely black, and he had no mouth. He repeated, "You shouldn't be here," and then disappeared into the darkness. Every step we took seemed to stretch for hours, and my headache throbbed like a drum. Suddenly, sirens roared outside, but no cars or people moved. We ran through the mall trying to escape, but the shadows followed us, creeping closer. Thomas carried a large rucksack, and it slowed him down, but he refused to leave it behind. Then it happened. A bullet hit him in the back. Blood soaked his shirt, and he collapsed. My heart raced as I wrapped my shirt around his wound. He whispered that he knew he had been hit, but he tried to stay strong. The shadows surged toward us, taller and more terrifying, trying to drag us into the darkness. I screamed and pulled Thomas toward a distant bright light. It felt impossible, but we kept moving. I tripped, my head pounding harder, and we both fell. Thomas handed me a bottle of pills from his rucksack, and I took them, hoping they would keep us conscious. Using every ounce of strength, I pulled us up and forced us toward the light. The shadows shrieked and clawed at us, but finally we crossed into the brightness. My eyes stung from relief and pain. I woke up in a hospital bed, my head bandaged. Thomas was there, hooked up to machines, barely awake. I couldn't believe he had survived. Over the next few weeks, I visited him every day, hoping to understand what had really happened. We never spoke much about the strange town or the frozen time, but we both knew it was real. That mall, the shadows, the frozen clocks, it wasn't a dream. Finally, Thomas walked out of the hospital, healthy again. We didn't need words. The memory of the dark town and the danger we survived together was enough. We passed through busy streets, people moving like nothing had happened, unaware of the horrors we had faced. We found a small diner and sat across from each other, sipping coffee quietly. The diner owner said something that made my blood run cold. "You don't want to be here when it's dark. It's different when it's dark." I looked at Thomas, and we shared a knowing glance. Whatever had happened to us, whatever strange world we had entered, It had left a mark on us forever. Even now, whenever I see a clock frozen at 5:30 or a shadow in the corner of my eye, I remember that mall, the frozen time, the screaming darkness, and the boy who helped me survive. And I know some places aren't meant to be entered and sometimes are never meant to pass.